Okay, so welcome back to part two. I've been suggested to put a temporary addition to the Venturi across the bullet to see whether or not extending the Venturi over the bullet leading edge will create the required vacuum for pulling the water out of the cockpit quick enough. Because at the moment it's abysmal. So it's only a marginal error, I believe, but just need to try and work that out. So I've thought, okay, I've got some aluminium plate here. It's quite flexible, as you can see, like so. You can actually mold it to the shape. I'm thinking of putting a moldable size over the top of the carbon fibre Venturi, and as a friend has suggested, to place some hot glue on the modified part against the carbon fibre, so I can actually heat it up and move it back and forth to see whether or not the trailing edge of the Venturi needs to be lengthened to go across the leading edge of the bullet to create the required suction. So, all right, I'll see what I can do. All right. Okay, so this is what I've come up with so far. I've just used a pair of scissors, some plate. I've got the hot glue gun out. Just started to shape it. It's basically just going to sit over the front of the Venturi like so. I just need to mould it a bit further. And what I'm going to do initially is I'm going to overcompensate and place the Venturi around about approximately, it may have to be wider of course, about a full ½ inch past the front of the bullet, just to see whether that starts to work. If it does work, I do have the option putting this into a mould, like a two-part mould process, and then actually lay some Kevlar in, and then do a Kevlar mould layup, and then that way I'll end up with something that I can actually place permanently here against the carbon fibre in the way of possibly Kevlar or something. So I'll see how we go, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I found out really quickly that I need to make sure it's much larger, so I've made a larger piece. So that'll be my curvature area, and then I'll actually have the flanges off to the side. So I'll see if I can keep playing and go that far. Well, I've just been playing around. This is what I've got so far. Just rudimentary, nothing too spectacular. Just took me about a minute or two just to have a bit of a think about it and just freehand it. So that's going to go over there, obviously. Let's see what we've got here. It's obviously too short, so I'm going to have to just place the bend further out just to get it correct fit. At the front, it's not bad, but at the back, too short on the actual 90-degree bend there. But we're getting there, so we're definitely going to make it longer than what I need. If this works, it's a simple case of possibly calling the manufacturer and see if I can put braid underneath this and move the carbon fibre Venturi into the correct position. I think it needs to come back, but I've got no idea until I trial it. I have seen Venturis without the bullet, with a square notch out at the top, just here, a notch out of there, or no bullet whatsoever. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, what works, what doesn't. But truth be known, this Venturi doesn't work all that well. I do know another chap here in South Australia that's got another one of these ones, this style expedition ski, and he has problems with water draining out as well. So it's obviously a placement problem, I think, because it looks like a normal Venturi to me. I just think it needs to go over the bullet a little bit more, like that. So see what happens, because it's not actually covering the front of the bullet. But I'm no expert. I'm just doing it by the seat of my pants at the moment. So see what happens. So after toiling away, that's the final product. I can move it rearward. and I can move it forward to where the original Venture is. I think it needs to be about there. I think, from what I'm reading. Love to hear your comments. Yeah, I'll start further back than what I need. I'll probably start a good half, 3/4 of an inch back, right over the top of the bullet like that. Just see what happens. Obviously, I'll have to check it if I hit the beach, but if I don't hit the beach, I can just check it as I throw it in the water, just make sure it's still in a semicircular shape, and then hit the water and see what happens. The only reason that'll deform is if I hit the beach. And then I can just heat it up with a small gas flame and then just bring it forward a little bit if I find it's not working, or I hope it starts working. Just guessing here, so yeah, it's very agricultural-ish, if that's a word. So yeah, so I'll put that on and I'll give it a crack, and I'll get back to you guys and see whether or not that works, and I'll be listening to your comments, reading your comments, see what else I can do. But for now, I suppose that'll do it, and I'll hot glue it in place so I can move it, as a good friend suggested, and see what I got.